So you're welcome to another session of the lunch hour with me, Paul Erubami. I'm the CEO of Max-Migold Limited. I'm the head of faculty of the Max-Migold Training Center. We have been training facility managers for more than 8 years now. And we have been, as facility management company, we are also involved in all the things we train on. Developing or deploying facility management solutions to organizations, energy efficiency and smart building projects, construction or renovation, advisory for real estate sector, on operational readiness, sustainability, and all the things that go with it. This February, we started the 23rd batch of the FM Mastercard Diploma, which is currently ongoing, and admissions are still open till the end of February. You can take the virtual program and attend classes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 5 to 7 p.m. And alternatively, you can also take the physical class, which runs every Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., face-to-face with the lecturers in our training center at Unila campus. And if you take the physical class, you also are entitled to all the virtual classes. So you can schedule your time to attend both types of classes. Since the registration and admission into the batch 23 will be ending at the end of February, we're already looking forward to the next class, which starts in April. 3 months program. Before the end of April, we'll have started the batch 24, and we're looking forward to another round of engagement with everyone to fill up the class. We look forward to those who have been postponing taking this program to please make the move now, because the August pass is definitely not going to maintain the current price. The prices have gone up, but we're going to try and keep the current price for those who sign up for the April batch, even though the price will be 975,000 from August, and publishing our websites, immediately. We'll apply it as a discount to everyone who are joining the April batch to pay the old price. All right. If you go to facilityManagementCourses.com, you'll find a list of other courses that we do: facility management courses, leadership courses, workplace productivity courses, and so on and so forth. And if you have any facility management requirements or needs, please reach out to Max-Migold. That's your first port of call. We are always ready to do a free assessment, provide you with free knowledge from the onset as we engage with you on how to take on your facility management. So look forward to more of such engagements. We've had our hands pretty full in the last few months, and we're hoping to grow in this 2025, providing more services to more clients as we move on. I know that when you see a topic like this for the lunch hour, your mind is telling you, okay, so what else do I need to know? What have I not known? What else have we not talked about the facility management industry, the facility management career? So charting your path is just a way to bring all of those ideas together, give you some practical, tips on how you can create your personal, plan for progressing along the good trajectory in the facility management industry. If you're not growing as a facility manager in every way, in terms of your knowledge and skills, in terms of your experiences, in terms of your remuneration, in terms of benefits that come to you, in terms of job satisfaction and all the other things that come with the facility management job, you probably want to rethink what you are not doing right. Okay, because with all the opportunities that FM has now, there's a high tendency that anyone who takes the career seriously will definitely be happy, will make progress, will grow. So this charting your path, navigating your career uh, in strategic management is going to basically just run us through some key highlights on how we can, think through our careers in FM. And if you are here, you're not sure you are in FM, you are probably in other disciplines or professions, please stay on to the end because these are nuggets, these are ideas, these are wisdom that we need for every kind of job, to excel in every kind of job. So the objective of this session today, learn about different career paths, opportunities, and industry expectations. Gain insights into the technical leadership and strategic skills needed for growth. Explore the importance of professional development, certifications, and networking. Develop a roadmap for personal and professional growth in facility management. And stay ahead by understanding emerging trends, digital transformation, and leadership opportunities. So it's important that we don't only, um, just see our jobs, our roles as, oh, I have an FM job, I'm a site facility manager. There are paths you can go on. There's a way you can think and do things differently that can help you move from the shop floor, the operational level, to the tactical level, and then to the more strategic level in handling FM issues and problems, as well as making life better for our building users. So in this session, we're going to look a bit into the introduction of the topic itself, the essential skills for career advancement, certifications and professional development in FM, because one of the things you realize that people who stay in FM and they don't gain certifications and professional development along the way, they tend to become stagnated. I can't really call them FMs anymore because every FM in an industry where FM is growing, the demand is increasing, cannot remain stuck. So we'll need to show you how to get unstuck and move up in your career. And then, of course, leadership, technology, emerging trends in facility management are things that will give you an edge. So if you're looking to grow your career or expand or increase in what you already know, then you must look in those three directions. All right. So in terms of career paths in facility management, there are almost uncountable numbers. Sometimes someone thinks until I'm called a facility management, I'm not yet into facility management. So people are into procurement and they're actually procuring facility management requirements. They're actually scoping and Okay, sorry for that uh, internet disruption. I'll just get back to my content and continue. Okay, so the thing that employers, when we say the industry is growing, opportunities are everywhere. We need to qualify that because uh, employers are no longer looking for people who have many years of experience doing the same thing without, being able to come forward with skills and competencies they can use to add value to the organization. So the demand is really for skilled facility managers, who can take decisions, who can, pivot the organization in a way that can reduce waste, that can improve efficiency, effectiveness, deploy processes, and actually show, results to the organization. So that's the kind of facility manager that they're looking for. Those who want to do FM as I sit down, I am told what to do. People complain to me, and then I act fast, things like that. You probably won't have, an opportunity in this industry. It's not just enough to say I'm experienced in facility management. What kind of experience do you have? What have you been doing with the years you have been in facility management? So the skills of a facility manager is what employers are looking for, not just the title or the number of years that you have been in the industry. Now, how do you demonstrate that you have the skills that employers are looking for? Because that's one question that I think many people will want to ask. It has nothing to do with the assignments you've been given in terms of the tasks you've been given, and so on and so forth. No, it is what you achieve uh, in the execution of those tasks. That's what determines a skill. So in essence, a skill is a practical um, application, something you already did, something you already practiced, something you already can demonstrate that you have done it and can do it. That's what is in demand. So in terms of the kind of skills you can, put forward, we'll talk about them in a bit. We also want you to understand that when it comes to growth in the FM industry, it's not enough to know and to have the opportunity to practice, which means knowledge, education, and then, practice to acquire the skills. But you must also test those skills through certifications. I know a lot of times we come out to tell people about the FM Mastercraft diploma, and they sound like, "Oh, I've been around for 15 years. I've been around for 20 years, so I know FM, and I'm no longer at the level where I should be learning, taking the FMMC diploma." My response to that would simply be, if you already know, then come on board and test the skills. So take the classes, try your hands on the exams, so that you'll be able to convert the skills to certification, because that's what many people are failing to do. if there is a disruption in the industry, there is a shakeup, there is a change in requirements or expectations of the customer, those that will stand out are those who have something tangible to show for the skills that they have. Okay. So if you have knowledge, experience, and you are now, going to demonstrate that you have knowledge, experience, together makes up the skills, you must have some certifications. So I'll talk about a few of them as we go on. There must be something. Sometimes I meet very talented people, self-taught gurus in IT, in FM, in sales, in marketing, in different industries. Now, uh, if I have experienced you and the work you do, I'll give it up to you. I'll always hire you. I'll always put you, in positions to take decisions and act because I have experienced you. But for you to get a foot in the door for that higher opportunity, someone will have to see something. Okay, so not always that you get a chance to come and into an interview to explain yourself, or you get a chance to come in through an internship where you demonstrated, such great skills and you're given your rightful place in the industry. Many just don't have access to that first opportunity, or are stuck in one point because they don't have a way to break into the next level. And that way is to have a certification. Okay, something. And I'm not talking about run of the mill online 2 days, 1 day physical training, all those kind of things that will pick up. Of course, they add value. People recognize them, but you need a certification that has some level of industry presence and identity that people can relate with anywhere in the world. Okay. But that's what a certification really is, something that you hold, that you maintain, that is a credential that elevates you, that puts you at par with professionals who have taken it, globally. Then the next thing is networking and industry involvement. Many people just do their jobs. If you just do your job without having a network in the industry that you represent, not having, you don't attend conferences or seminars, you don't participate in national associations or even sub-national associations, professional bodies that have branches of FM, you don't participate in them, you will not be able to realize your full potential. One, the opportunities for meeting and engaging with industry high flyers, mentors that can mentor you will be lost because of you cocoon yourself into the space of your job, right? Two, the kind of opportunities out there that you are missing out on in terms of jobs that can elevate you beyond where you are can be, it can be a big loss if you don't participate. You are not in platforms, you are not in groups, you are not in, association meetings. So you don't know who is who, you don't know what's happening. You don't even get to understand or see discussions of latest trends in the industry. You don't know when the industry is shifting and how it's going to affect you because you've just stayed in your post and hope that that post will be there forever. You might just be like someone who, bought a ticket in a cruise and, stayed indoors, locked himself in, managed his little snacks all through, only to find out at the end of the cruise that his ticket covered all the luxuries that were in that cruise, because that's exactly what it looks like when you box yourself in and say, oh, I'm busy, I cannot participate in industry activities. You're not even involved in activity that exposes you. You are not involved in activity that helps you mentor others. You will not grow. There's no chance that you can grow in that kind of situation. So even if you have to pay 10,000 naira or 100,000 naira, or, whatever amount, 50,000 naira to be part of these associations, pay it. It's a good investment, always a good investment. It just it's just a matter of one or two conversations in meetings, and you may find your next opportunity. So don't lock yourself up, no matter what you know in terms of skills and qualifications. So that's the foundation of all of this conversation. Uh, some people also just get stuck at the shop floor, at the bottom of their profession. They don't elevate themselves beyond operational considerations. Uh, Make sure the place is clean, make sure the place is maintained, make sure the logs are filled, make sure the personnel go out, make sure the schedules are done, everything is kept, inspections are done and documented. They're all fine, right? But organizations are now depending on facility managers to do more than keep the place running. Keeping the place running now needs to be elevated to keeping the people happy, productive, with improved, livelihoods in terms of their well-being, and also that translates to increased or improved productivity that results in more output for the organization, more bottom line results for the organization. Now, for FMs who are doing just the basic stuff at the shop floor, we don't say stop doing that, but we are saying start thinking strategically. Start acquiring the kind of data that helps you translate the things you do, the mundane things you do at the shop floor, into strategic input. Organizations now realize that uh, when you clean properly and people are healthy because they're living in a clean environment, they produce more results for the organization. So cleaning KPIs will not just be how cleaning is done, what type of cleaning is done, but why cleaning is done to the level where we can describe how cleaning is improving the health of the individual. And this applies to virtually everything. The financial health of an organization, for example, is also dependent on the FM's ability to understand how its spending patterns, its spend decisions, the value created from its choice of materials and services for the organization, all reduces overall cost of running the business and also increases or improves productivity that leads to higher returns for the organization. So FM need to go beyond the basics into more strategic reasoning. And the way to do that is start from simple data gathering. Data gathering. Have information on, you're supplying water. So why not know how many liters you're supplying and how many liters are they used per, per for the site? And if you add that information to how many people are sitting in that site or visitors to that site, you can know how many liters per person. The same thing with how you use diesel, how you generate energy. The same thing with marking attendance in the organization to know those who didn't come to work, why they didn't come, which is lost time, to injuries, health and safety metrics, all of the things that can help you provide insights into more strategic considerations for the organization. For example, some companies are concerned about attracting the best talents. They are in a competitive industry where certain people are being, really being wooed by certain competitors in the industry. And they are concerned about, how they can, attract such people to the organization. The FM should look beyond just cleaning and maintenance to start thinking, what can we add? What can we change? What can we do to this, our work environment? What new policies can we bring about that will make people, more comfortable and more productive and more willing to come to work for this organization. So that's one area. Start elevating yourself strategically by using data, by reasoning higher level, to the level of management and managing directors and so on. Think like them. Proactively anticipate growth opportunities, anticipate problems to solve, anticipate needs, to resolve. been a while that I suffered MTN like this. It's not been breaking me off twice in the class. Okay, all good. Okay, so one other area that you should start thinking about is the future of the built environment. We talk about this all the time, and we seem to think that sometimes we make the error of thinking that technology is the next thing. We should always be looking for technology. I don't, I don't, hold that point of view. My point of view is that we should evolve. We should understand our needs. We should have processes for, you know, fulfilling our needs and solving our problems as an organization. And then we now advance into the right technology to make that better. So in essence, you should know what your goals are, what processes you have in place to achieve those goals. Then use that knowledge to look for the kind of technology that can help you get through to your achieving your goals faster. So that's my approach to technology. Same applies to sustainability. There are there are hierarchies. So before you start talking about, carbon trading, carbon footprint, uh, all of those high-tech sustainability considerations and metrics, solve the basic things like compliance with building codes, right? Move from there to basic understanding of your impacts to the environment through measuring your energy consumption and your water consumption and looking at the amount of waste you generate. Such simple things are going to move you on the path of sustainability because you are thinking like that. You are taking one baby step at a time towards that area. And so if you combine strategic FM considerations through data analysis and business decision, taking business decision based on those data, and then you add that to your quest to get better and do better because you are trying to be sustainable as an organization. You're getting trying to get somewhere. We are now like the wheels that it sits on, that rolls it towards that destination. And to do this, FMs need to start learning new skills, upskilling. So when an innovation like the AI innovation that is taking the world by storm comes up, don't say, oh, that's not AI. That's not AI, not FM. FM is different. Those are IT related stuff. Find out how some of those applications can work for you. There are collaboration tools that we can work with now where you can have a single document and multiple working on a document from different locations and being able to get things done faster. You can create a simple inspection tool that people can just put in their inspection updates and you see it at the back end aggregated. So there are so many things that we can begin to do now without waiting. We use logbooks, you fill the logbook, you fill another sheet for work order and go and get the job done. But now it's a simple QR code pasted somewhere in the facility. Someone can scan that and get into a form and fill a request. There are basic things that you can start with. Start opening your mind to these learning opportunities and start pushing yourself to learn them. Okay. So how do we add value? We make the business run efficiently because we don't waste any of the funds of the organization. We save money. We also proactively anticipate risk through business continuity planning and business preparedness planning, and we ensure that we can put measures in place to ensure that our business don't suffer from planned or unplanned disruption. whether from internal or external forces. And energy is now a big part of, facility management, because organizations are under a heavy load or heavy burden of energy because of the rising costs and because of energy uncertainties as well, right? So we need to be at the forefront of considerations for how we can reduce energy consumption and the costs overall and its impact on our company's bottom line, and also how we can show concern for the earth through sustainability measures like shifting certain loads to renewable energy sources and increasing as much as possible, as financially feasible, our investments in renewable sources of energy. So it takes a lot of personal will, personal determination, personal grit, resilience to look beyond your immediate circle, your immediate, what I might call your pressing needs, and start beginning to look at, more advanced approaches to getting better yourself, getting your organization to become better and excellent in its delivery of its services and core mandates. So let's look at some of the skills that you need for advancements. I normally will break down the skills into 3 core categories. One is the technical competencies. 2 are what I call the managerial competencies. Okay, so you can call them operational competencies, but managerial competencies in the sense that this is where all the processes, all of the standards you deploy, all the documentation, the tools you use to work, they come in. Whereas the first one is an understanding of the building itself. When somebody says the roof is made up a 0.7 mm gauge, galvanized, or corrugated, whatever, do you have understanding what that means in terms of building materials? Can you, look at a manual and, consider all the components of the equipment, see if you can identify them? Can you read a drawing to know where a socket and switch is, where a DB is in an electrical drawing, for example, or what a door versus a window is in an architectural drawing? Those are all technical aspects. If somebody says, something is bad in your facility and it mentioned what is diagnosed as the problem, can you query, can you understand what the person is saying? It doesn't put you, it doesn't turn you into a hands-on person. That's for a technician. We get them to do the job for us, but you must have understanding of the technical, basis for the equipment, why they are installed the way they are installed, why we maintain them the way we maintain them. So you can take decisions along the way. You can change or alter procedures or patterns based on your understanding of the technical, requirements or technical features of such an equipment. Now, so when you get to the operational or managerial system considerations, you have tools. You have a work order, you have an inspection checklist, you have this, you have that, you have a reporting template. All of those things are created to instill some level of order, define some processes for getting things done. So you're not just waking up, go to work, do whatever you remember to do or what you are told to do, come back home and repeat the process again. You're not doing an FM job, right? So that's where managerial skills come in. You need to be able to find the right templates, configure them, structure them in such a way that they can capture the right information, and you can use that information to do analysis in another set of documents and take decisions in another set of documents that helps you move your organization forward. And then the final part out of the 3, I've talked about technical skills and competencies, talked about managerial, operational skills and competencies. Then the final one, which is also, in fact, is the most important, is interpersonal skills and competencies, what I call the leadership skills. Because in our profession, you don't do things in silos. You don't work alone, right? So people will always, be required to get things done. You must have the ability to connect with people, the ability to understand them, motivate them, act against bad actors quickly,
work, to verify the deliverables that your clients are supposed to get through the efforts of the people you bring on board. And then you also need to, as part of that leadership, competence or group of competencies, you also need to be able to relate with your customers, your end users. When customers need anything, they may not be able to describe it correctly, right? But they know what they need. So you need to have a way to understand them to a very, very deep level, right? And then be able to adjust the things you deliver to suit what the customer's requirements are. It's important that you're able to manage expectations of the customers, deliver to meet their needs, and understand the gap between what you are delivering and what the customer actually needs, so you can improve on a continuous basis to close that gap out. And then the same thing applies to those above you. Anybody that you interact with should like you, should see you as a good person, should see you as a hard-working person, should see you as a problem solver, should see you as a proactive person. Those are the positive perceptions or impressions that make us able to not only make the impact that affects them positively, but get them to acknowledge those impacts that affect them positively and even give us recommendations for them. So it's important that we grasp these three areas: technical, managerial, and interpersonal or leadership skills. So everything from communication and the rest are all tied to that last one, interpersonal or leadership skills. Now, I said FM should be, learn more and more, get better at, what they do, but also be conversant with changing trends in the built environment. Some buildings are now being built that are purely smart buildings. Buildings are now, coming up with features that require us to understand how the building, for example, if you have a smart building, everything is digitalized and you're supposed to manage that building, you should know that connectivity, seamless connectivity is the secret of such an environment. So if you can focus on make sure there is proper seamless connectivity, you might have that building falling apart under your management, right? And the same thing applies to all the utilities, energy, water provision. You must understand how technology is changing the kind of equipment and assets that are being installed for this purpose, right? In the past, it's understandable to just have a distribution board where you have all the fuse blocks mounted. The loads go through, there's a relay for trip off, and protection and all that. So that's like the switchboard where all the circuits pass through and they have the individual controls. Now, if something is wrong with that board or any of the circuits, you go to that board to go and fix it. You have to get there before you know whether something is smoldering or getting too hot. You have to get there before you know whether something has tripped, so you can start your diagnosis and the rest. But now you are going to meet buildings where the distribution board is now a smart one, where each of those breakers are not only there to protect, but they are also serving as individual meters that meters the consumption of each of those items. They are also serving as remote control for the house, so that people can, with their phones, switch off a sewage plant, power back on a water pump, control lighting in certain areas, regulate air conditioning in certain areas. Now, that smart DB is now here to stay. So you come into a facility and you're given to manage that. You must understand that, there is such a technology. And it's not just enough to say, there's such a technology, but you must be able to quickly connect with that technology, find out all you can about it, so that you are not there physically tripping things up and down when you can do them remotely and reduce wear and tear on the facility. So FM should be, in the forefront of technology as they are coming in. We use software sometimes, and we always try to tell the software, this should be done at this time, this should be done at this time, this is the schedule, this is the frequency, this is who to do it, and so on and so forth. But we are moving into the era of AI, where such applications no longer need to be just templates or spreadsheet database applications. Now they can incorporate AI that can understand the various entries we put into them, provide recommendations for things that needs to be done proactively to prevent breakdown and things like that, and also provide solutions when we run into a headache. Something is failed and you want to query resources online. You can put those queries on your AI and get information that you probably would take weeks to research to get to such conclusions. The AI can do all that research for you in seconds and give you the conclusions and give you the options on how to come out of that technical logjam, for example. So there's a lot that is ongoing that we should start exposing ourselves to. So if an FM, while being an FM, decides to take a course on Internet of Things to learn how devices are getting connected in the built environment, learn about AI and how AI can be used to solve problems, can be used to create plans that can proactively prevent problems and so on and so forth. That's not out of place as FMs. That old school approach of just get certification and I'm okay, should really be given a second thought, because you need the knowledge and the skills of the kind of facilities and property you will encounter as you go on in your FM career. So there are quite a few trends that you should concern about, not just the technology, but also customer expectations. People used to just sit in their desk and this is how they work, but a lot of workspaces are beginning to adapt to to the user expectations. I want to work for a while and stand up and go somewhere else, but I also want to keep working while I'm there, right? So how do I achieve that? I probably need a different position to stand, maybe a high-level table, for example, where I can put my laptop or tablet and do some work while I'm at the same time stretching myself and getting my mood back. Or I probably need a place where I can just take a walk, listen to some audio tape or some instructional material or anything else as a way of breaking and relaxing my mind before I get back to work. So those designs, break rooms, breakout areas, phone booths, sofas, where you can, stretch a little bit, and so many other features that are being built to the workplace. We need to be familiar with them, because when your management tells you, we need to find a way to make this workplace interesting and exciting and make people like to work here and do better, you should have the idea. So research, study. And when you're in professional associations too, you see some of these things being dropped on the platform. Don't say I'm too busy. Click on the link, open it, read it, make some notes. That's how you get better at what you do. So let's now, break down the certifications and qualifications. We talk about qualifications all the time. I always like to start with the FM Mastercraft Diploma, because that is the first qualification we have created in Nigeria. In fact, in Sub-Saharan Africa, this is the first qualification for facility management, created by Max-Migold exclusively and patented. It comes with a credential that gives you a designation. So you finish the Facility Management Mastercraft Diploma and you earn the FM Diploma, the Facility Management Diploma. That diploma qualifies you to use the postscript FMD after your name. And it recognizes your achievements, because you now form part of a large body of global achievers whose professional growth springboarded from the FM diploma. Just yesterday, somebody who graduated from our program in 2022 was in South Africa. He has relocated and is trying to find his foot, in the industry. They've checked on his experience, they've checked on his qualification. They just realized that this guy knows what he's talking about. But then they needed to be sure that the FM diploma he's parading is actually issued by Max-Migold. And then they sent us a copy of it, and then we looked at our repository and realized that he was one of our graduates. And we responded in a very a beautiful way for them to accord him all the privileges. And we've had this from Canada, we've had this from the UK, we've had this from the US, we've had it from the Middle East a lot. People who travel, because they've earned these credentials. Because you form parts of a group of people who are excelling in what they do, your credential now receives recognition. So when people keep saying, is this recognized? Is this recognized? I tell you, it is widely, highly recognized because the people who have earned it are at the top of their profession. In fact, if you take Nigeria, for example, and you put out, you single out all the organizations employing facility managers who have been trained, you will find out that at least half of them who have been trained with the FM training provided by Max-Migold in the last few years. And that community is growing. So when you're looking for recognition for the certification, for the credential you hold, that recognition, that value comes from the community created by the alumni of that credential that you hold, right? So it is growing. It is something that is making a major wave, not just across Africa and Nigeria, but also globally. So if you're already in the program, kudos. If you've taken it, part of this aim of this webinar today is to help you keep taking the right steps so that you can keep actualizing the growth that you signed up for when you came up for the FM Mastercard diploma. Now, there are international certifications and credentials that you can also take in FM. So you have a facility management practitioner, the FMP, provided by International Facility Management Association, USA, IFMA. IFMA also provides the SFP, the Sustainability Facility Professional as well as the CFM, the Certified Facility Manager. These will take you through different competencies until that's the FMP and the SFP, until you have covered all the competencies and you're now ready to take the certification, which is the CFM, and become a globally recognized leader in facility management. So let there be a plan. If I've taken the FMD, if I took the FMD a few years ago, by this year I should take the FMP, by next year I should take the SFP, by the year after. It doesn't mean that they follow in that order. No, it doesn't follow, right? You can decide to pick which one you want to take at any time because they're all different and take you through a different scope. But it's important that you don't stay idle and say, I don't have the means to acquire certifications because you are basically burning your opportunities for the future. And that's what we don't want to happen. Okay. Your future growth, your future expansion in your business, your future opportunities that comes to you in terms of new jobs and promotions are tied continually to your ability to understand, acquire, and maintain credentials and certifications in facility management. I talk about networking and mentorship, a very big part of that. But your growth in FM will not be because of one or two isolated activities. It has to come from a concerted effort. You have to have a plan, a professional development plan, customized to you that has milestones, achievements, that has outlines of how you're going to, for example, save money towards, make time for, register for, and study to pass certain qualifications as you go on. You must have them itemized. I have quite a few students, mentees who have shared with me their plans. I want this by this time. So when I follow up and I see as you are on course, I give you that kudos. And I'm sure when you do follow that professional development plan as you are moving up, you come to mind when opportunities show up, right? So if I call you up today and you've trained for the last 5 years and you've not done anything, so that's my rule of 5, from your university days to your first qualification to the next one to the next one. Don't let 5 years go by. Okay, so you must create a plan for how you're going to work. And when I say 5 years, it doesn't mean that you have to wait 5 years before you start thinking of it. No, it means as long as you earn one, you are working towards the next one. and you're having a plan, a schedule of activity that will lead you to that next one. So that roadmap is very key to being able to excel in the industry. So the roadmap is moving you through credentials and qualifications and certifications, right? Now, but that roadmap should also have a part of it that describes which kind of industry you want to work in, what kind of target companies you want to work in, what kind of positions you want to have, so that you're not just acquiring those qualifications and stuck in the rut of one job. It's also possible to have opportunities, try your hands in this industry and that industry, not just for the money. Of course, the money is a big part of it, but also for the experience. Because at the end of the day, you want to come out with a, let's say after 15 years in the industry, have a broad-based knowledge base of how you not only acquire the qualification, but also gain experience from a variety of organizations. In the past, it was easy to just pick up a job with Nigerian breweries or federal governments or state governments and just sit down there and retire and hope that all will be well. But nowadays, less than half the working population are having that kind of plan or having that kind of stability. But even if you work in an organization where you probably came in as a banking officer, but you're interested in facility management and you started showing some interest and adding value in that area, you probably can be, transferred there, and then you can begin to grow in that area. So you can even be in one organization and see experience the kind of growth we're talking about. But that's, not as common as we used to have it in the days of our parents. And then industry trends will also be changing. So you need to be prepared for how the industry is evolving as you go on in your FM career, especially in the area of technology. I've talked a lot about this. Focus on sustainability. Data-driven decision-making in FM is the way to go now. Data-driven decision-making in FM is the way to go now. So we must be very conscious of all of this in how we plan our careers. And then you can't move into positions without creating your own plan to get to those positions. So as you are growing your career, build a good relationship with those around you and those above you and those below you, because those relationships will come to bear when recommendations are required to move you up. Good communication, risk and financial management, innovation, and drive towards organizational growth will help to recognize you as someone that provides value, someone that wants to drive impact for your organization. Okay. All right, so I think that's where I'll end for today. Talk through key areas, certifications and qualifications, networking, mentors, a plan, very clear plan of action, not just for the academic or the professional qualification, but also for positions that you want to aspire to, and then have good relationships so that you can get the right recommendations and as you move up to become the leader that you want to be in the FM industry. And then, of course, stay abreast with technology, innovative ideas and solutions, and just understand how the FM industry is changing and how you can adjust yourself and your path to take advantage of the things that are happening. All right, so that's our session on charting your paths, building your career in the and growing your career in the facility management industry. Okay, so I'm just going to see if there's a question. If you have a question, I think it's best to drop it on the chat. Thank you. Seeing your comment, Rita. Kudos to Max-Migold FMD certification. Go for it. Yes, we highly recommend that everyone, pitch in and earn this qualification and become that super FM, with all the other things we teach that you should take on. For the FM Mastercraft Diploma starting on the April batch, registration is already ongoing, even though we've not ended registration for the current batch. It's going to end in 8 days. Today is 20th, by the 28th to be over. You can join this class again. So if you have anyone who's interested in joining this class, tell them to come on board, because we have all the recording and we have all the materials in the LMS. We've also opened up this class to the alumni, everyone who has taken this program before, who wants to get refreshed, who wants to experience whatever changes the program has had, should please participate in the current ongoing class. By April, by 1st of March, we want to ramp up admissions into the April batch to ensure that we have a sizable number for that class. And also to inform everyone that the prices have changed for the FMMC. What used to be $550 for virtual is now $750,000. What used to be $750,000 for fiscal is now $975,000. So it's just a reality of the way things are in the country. The value of the naira is eroding so fast. So by the time you see something you used to spend 40, 50,000 on before turn into millions, you have to face the reality. Just this morning, I was trying to put air into my vehicle tires, just trying to pump to gauge it, and the organizer said he's charging 500 naira to pump. My tire was not even flat. Just gauge it for me with some air, and say it's 500 naira per tire. So thinking about it, I can't blame him. This is how things are. That's something I used to do for 100 naira, then 200 naira, now it's 500 naira. Okay. Facilitators has to be paid, the center has to be managed, and people have to make sure the programs are running adequately. So let's prepare ourselves, take advantage of this low price that we're still having before the high price sets in August. Okay. All right, so that's it for today's session. Thank you very much for being here. I'll still be looking out in the facility management training group for any other questions that you might have. So until next week, where I meet you again here, please have a good rest of the week and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.